Welcome, fans. Welcome. This is The Great Chef Show, and I'm your host, The Great Chef. And today's recipe is a good one. It is not only hot, it is not only spicy, this is Salsa del Fuego. Salsa del Fuego. Now, to some of you gringos out there, what this basically means is fire sauce. Or actually, shall I say, we'll just call it hot sauce. And what do you eat with hot sauce at home? Well, you can have it on some huevos rancheros. How about this? You can put some on your chorizo. Maybe mix it in with a little bit of cacahuates. Or you can just do what I do. You can eat it with some chips. Look at this. Today, here's what we're going to be doing. Zoom in on the ingredients, please. First, we're going to need a blender. That's what we're going to cook it with. But the ingredients for today, very simple. You need 2 jalapenos, okay? You need a can of diced tomatoes and green chilies, whole peeled tomatoes. You're going to need 4 cloves of garlic, chopped. We're going to use minced garlic today. You're going to need half of an onion, chopped. 1/4 teaspoon of ground cumin, 1 teaspoon of salt, and 1 tablespoon of sugar. So first, we're going to start with our jalapenos. And today's bonus, I like my sauce a little extra hot. Salsa del Fuego. So we use not only 2 jalapeno peppers, but we're going to use 1 habanero pepper. Now, if you don't like heat, don't put the habanero pepper in there. What you're going to want to do, you're going to get your cutting board out. You're going to split these down the middle, and with your knife that you've cut these, you're going to take the seeds out and de-seed them, because you're only going to want to use the pepper itself with no seeds, okay? So there you go. That's what we're going to do. First, to get started, we need our oven at 400. You're going to preheat your oven at 400, okay? And once the oven's heated up, you're going to want to take your peppers and you're going to put them in the oven for 15 minutes. When the 15 minutes is up, I'll show you what you do next. We'll be right back on The Great Chef Show. Welcome back to The Great Chef Show. Check this out. Now, before we pour our rotel in here, our diced tomatoes and green chilies, we're going to want to drain it. Now, to drain it, what I do is over the sink, I'll do the can like this, and I'll pour it like this so it keeps everything inside. So, I'll be back after I drain these. Okay, now the first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to take our rotel. It's all nice and drained. We're going to pour it in the blender, like so. Okay. The next thing we're going to do, we're going to put in 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of sugar, 1/4 teaspoon ground cumin, and then we need 4 cloves of garlic chopped. Now, I like using this right here, minced garlic. It's real nice and quick because I didn't have the cloves of garlic. So a 1/2 teaspoon of minced garlic would equal 1 clove of garlic. So we're going to do 4 of these. That means we'll have 4 cloves of garlic. Everyone loves some good garlic. Smells really good and keeps Dracula away, you know. Alright. Now, what I'm going to do, I have my chopped onion here. That's about 1/2 of an onion, okay, of chopped onion. Put that in there. Now, what we're going to do right now, before we put in the whole peeled tomatoes, we're going to pulse this a little bit on your lowest setting, just Just a little bit. There we go. Now we're going to get our peppers out of the oven. It's been 15 minutes. They're nice and cooked. I can smell those peppers right when I open the oven door. Now, these peppers are going to be very hot. Come a little close. Watch what we're going to do here. These peppers are hot, but what we need to do, we need to cut the stem off. We're going to drop them in there. Here is our habanero pepper. Spicy. Salsa del Fuego. You're only going to find it here, folks. Only find it here on The Great Chef Show. I'm your host, The Great Chef. Always a pleasure of inviting you into my kitchen. So hopefully you can learn something and take it home to your kitchen as well. Okay, we've got our peppers in there. Now we're going to put our whole peeled tomatoes in there. Drained, of course, before I put them in there, because you don't want it to be too runny. Now, this is where it's all up to user preference. If you want a more chunky salsa, you want to put it on the lowest setting, you know, and you want to just chop it up a little bit. If you want a more liquid consistency, you'll want to, you know, let it chop around a lot longer. So here we go. Let's do it. I like mine kind of chunky. Okay, that's all good right now. Now what we're going to do, at this point, you can go ahead and serve your salsa. Now, if you have a lot of salsa and you don't eat it fast enough, what I recommend is using some lime juice. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of lime juice to the salsa. Okay? There's 1. There's 2. Now the reason why I add lime juice is it'll make the salsa last longer. Because after this, you know, you want to refrigerate it, of course. But if you didn't put lime juice in there, the salsa is only going to last you about a week. With the lime juice in here, the salsa will last you 1 month in the fridge. If you didn't have lime juice in about 5 days, the salsa started tasting a little weird, then that's the tomatoes, you know, showing their age. Okay. Gonna pour the salsa. Okay. Salsa del Fuego. Now, the chip we're going to be using tonight, Julio's corn tortilla chips. Only found here in the estado de Texas, the state of Texas. Let's take the test. I can honestly say this has passed the test. It's been prepared by the best. I'm your host, The Great Chef. Thanks so much for joining us for this episode of The Great Chef Show. This has been Salsa del Fuego. Thanks for watching. Peace out. God bless. We're hot as hell.